paid attention to the non-conference that the SEC as a whole has had?
Well, we get great communication with our conference office, what they send out to us, and so we're up. Everybody in the league understands that, and just a great year for the league outside the conference. I mean, just really, you think about it, I can only think back to maybe 2004 when the ACC had a banner year like that in non-league play, but like I said after the game the other day, you can throw it all out the window now. We start over, and I think we all know that wins will be hard to come by, and but that's what you want. 10 years ago when I first got here, that's what the league talked about, trying to get basketball up on par with everything else in the league, and I would say at this point that we've been able to do that.
Coach, when you talk to Cal, and you see parallels between your first year here in Knoxville and his first year at Arkansas after so many years at Kentucky.
I mean, obviously, it's always new when you go somewhere else because it takes you a while to realize, what he'd spent many years in Lexington, and you go somewhere just like 17 years at Texas for me. You come here, but what happens? You get so into the job, where your life, in terms of the way you do things, doesn't change. You're just in a different environment, and obviously, he went from one great fan base to another fan base, great fan base, and he, watching his team. I mean, he's always been a great basketball coach everywhere he's been. It doesn't matter where he goes. He turns things around quickly, win games, and his teams are always so fundamentally sound. And you don't have to beat them; they're not going to beat themselves. But I'm sure he's still making some adjustments in his family personally. But basketball-wise, you look at what he's done, pretty much the same.
Coach, going into SEC play, as physical as it is there a premium on trying to stay out of foul trouble?
Well, I think going right down to SEC play, the premium is on getting better. We're first week in January, not even halfway through the season yet, but with limited numbers, I mean, we've never been down this low with players, and so with that in mind, we got to keep guys, one, healthy, keep them fresh. We never wanted to foul. I mean, that's something that we've always tried to emphasize. We want to play hard, but we don't want to foul. We really don't want to. We don't want to let people go to the free throw line and get points that way. So that's something that we've always emphasized, and we'll always do that.
Do you like the way that Igor has affected things these last couple of games when he hasn't shot the ball well?
Yeah, I mean, that's the sign of a terrific player. When you get a guy that's not making shots, and again, we know he's going to make shots. That's the furthest thing from our mind. But when you can impact a game without doing that, I think it's a sign of a true basketball player. And we've talked about Jemiah Mashack doing that, but Igor has done. His rebounding has been. We knew he was a good rebounder. We knew he was a really good defensive rebounder. He obviously surprised us with what he's done on the offensive boards. But he's already made a major impact. And what's exciting for us as a coaching staff is that we think he's just going to continue to get better the more experience he gets at playing at this level.
It's strange turning on Arkansas film and seeing Jonas playing for a different team.
Yeah, I mean, we appreciate what Jonas did while we were here, but you all know the landscape of where we are in intercollegiate athletics, and we're going to see more of that. Obviously, as time goes on, when guys leave and go other places for various reasons sometimes. But Jonas, really, we loved him when he was here and what he did, and loved his growth. But he's there, we're here, and it's about competition now.
What does he look like on film? Like how do they use him? How do you compare to how y'all use him?
Jonas has had to deal with an injury, obviously, so he hasn't probably been out there as much as that I think they'd probably like to have him. But I see him trying to do some of the same things that we're trying to do with him.
How do you prepare for John L. Davis, who's been dealing with an injury, he might not play? Do you scout like he's there, or prepare both ways?
You go in preparing for guys to play. I mean, that's what you expect, and again, you never know what's going to happen, but you always go in preparing for it and realizing that we've seen so many guys that didn't think would come in and play great, and so we'll be prepared.
What do you hope to see out of Chaz as you begin SEC play?
Do what?
What do you hope to see out of Chaz as you begin SEC
Improvement.
play?
I think he's got to continue to, again, feel his way through this, but doesn't have a lot of time, really. He's seen a lot of defenses come at him different ways right now, and I do think he's already improved. And the exciting part is that he can continue to get even better. And but he's going to, again, it all gets ratcheted up once we get into conference play, and he'll have to continue to improve to get where he wants to be.
Coach, when you talk about it getting ratcheted up, what kind of a luxury is it to have Zakai, have Jamal, the guys that you don't have to tell them, hey, it's getting ready to change, that they're, they're the ones passing along the message.
It is, and again, I talked to Jamal last night. We talked on the phone a little bit, and just that message right there, you guys have been through it, you know what it's about. Most of these guys haven't. You're gonna have to understand that we've got to get better. All of us have to get better, but those guys have been through it. They know what's coming, and the more they can hear it from their teammates that, hey, this is a whole different situation that you guys have never been in, and you got to listen, and let's not make the mistake of not listening.
Rick, I know that you've always been a staunch defender of this league and basketball. When you were kind of looking through things, looking at rosters going into the season, did you expect it to be quite this strong as it's been?
You know what? I don't know if you ever know how strong you think it's going to be. I mean, I know this. I have great respect for our league. I have great respect for the coaches in the league. The fact that not only do they know how to coach basketball, but they know how to recruit talented players, and that's been obviously the last couple of years. I think is the biggest improvement have been the skill development, the skills of the players that have come into our league. But when the season starts out, everyone's going to talk about their league and all that as time plays out. Just like football season right now going on, you see it in the end how it all ends up. But so much will go on between now over the next 3 months. How do you handle the ups and downs of it? How do you stay focused? How do you continue to improve? And how do you handle, because we're all going to go through a rough spot at some point in time, and how you handle that. But again, you can't say enough about what our league has done in the non-league. I mean, it's really been impressive, but and no doubt at the start of right now, you look through your schedule. Someone told me the other day about how we're starting out. I don't care what 3 teams you put up there, you're looking at it as hard. I don't care which three you put there, 2, whatever, 1. It's hard, and every time we go on the road, every time we play at home, there are none that you think, hey, we've got a break here, because with what's happened up to this point, I don't think anybody can think that.
It was also a little bit of a battle against Norfolk. How would you evaluate practice and the focus of the team since then leading up to Saturday?
I think our focus has been good all year leading up. And maybe that's because of guys knowing they're going to play, maybe having lesser bodies out there. But I thought our last 2 games have been great for us. I thought what Middle Tennessee did was terrific. They did some things that we needed. And Norfolk State, what they did was exactly what we needed. And so I give our coaching staff credit because we know when we schedule those games what we're looking for, and those teams gave us everything we wanted and more, and which was good. But our preparation from our players, they were on point with what we needed to try to get done, and so we'll continue to need that as we keep moving forward.
How would you say then that the team's improved in those areas that you needed to see in those 2 games?
Well, I'm not saying they've improved all the way. They're improving in areas in terms of we're going to have to guard the basketball. When you think of Arkansas, and their talented players are going to drive the ball hard. They've got the ability to shoot it, and they can score really at 3 levels. And when we played, say, Norfolk State, they were a great driving team and had great mid-range players, great guys that could finish at the rim. And but now you had the part of it where you got to guard them further out, because you look at Arkansas's guard; they have the ability to shoot it deep, and that spreads the floor a little bit more. But that'll be something we'll talk about all year, about improving guarding the basketball, improving helping your teammates, rebounding, all the fundamentals. You never ever think you're there, and so that's why I keep talking about every day getting better, because We've just gotta keep inching forward every day.
You got a lot.
Last
out of,
one.
You got a lot out of D Stone at Illinois, and his minutes have kind of been a little lower since then. Do you know what you're going to get from him at this point?
Probably not totally yet, but we believe in him, and being a low possession game the other night, you know, we were not scoring the ball, so we were trying to get obviously get some things out there on the court, and you know, Shaq not really playing in the second half, but we need Igor, Cade, and Felix, those guys. We believe in them, and we got to continue to get more out of them, and it's not just offensively. It's you know, I thought Cade did a great job blocking shots, rebounding. Felix will do that. Igor's doing it. We want to see D Stone improve in all those areas, and with his versatility, you know, obviously the time he missed hurt him a little bit, but he'll make that up, and he just, like those guys, need to get out there and go at it.
Thanks, Coach.
Thank you.